it clearly was extortion. Now, I'm no lawyer, so it's not to say it's safe to play it on TV, but the lawyers who have played it in TV could not be more wrong. The cases of extortion that we have in the public discourse where people have been convicted of this are just like this. You remember David Letterman had that person who, and he very much in a similar way came clean. As a CBS producer who was shaking him down. He came clean about some affairs he was ashamed of rather than have it leak out. But J-Lo, just thinking of, last night's Grammys, Cameron Diaz, there's so many people who had scandalous pictures or stories. And it was pure extortion, and that's what's happened here. So I don't know what kind of legal definition this guy Elkin Abramovich is trying, but it's clearly the way anybody in a court of law or Webster's dictionary defines extortion.
Do you think that there's a case to be made that, in terms of a prosecutable case against the National Enquirer and David Pecker? Absolutely.
He's being shaken down by threats to do damage to him. And there are some lawyers who argue it has to be property damage. Well, reputation is almost always considered property damage. I think it's a very strong, very clear case on that ground. I do think that the board has some homework to do.
Let's talk about that, because you are a management expert. You're somebody who looks at these things. And your take is an interesting one, that this was a mistake that got him to this position, but how he's reacted since, you think, is the reason he's getting a pass at this point, because he's handled it well since.
It's incredibly embarrassing, of course. He's a really private guy. I've been with him many times, and yet we have no real relationship by his choice. He never seems to want to engage. When I would facilitate Bill Gates' CEO summits, when I wasn't on stage, I'd be in the back of the room. He'd be hiding back there, and he just never really wanted to seek the stage. He hasn't been on this set, I think, since 1999. He had 3 torturous hours where the humor wasn't working, and he doesn't accept awards and things. He's been somewhat low-key until some of his outside interests, obviously. But I do think that people have human frailties, whether or not it's in government, universities, churches, and corporations. So sometimes they misstep, and this is a misstep.
Okay, so if you're the board, what do you do about this?
Well,
and you think that the misstep is, you're saying, the misjudgment of sending these things online?
Yes, this was something that Larry Ellison doesn't understand. He still screams in defense of Mark Hurd, who he was right to hire. Mark Hurd, who misstepped at HP and wasn't straightforward and honest with the board. Larry gave him a chance at Oracle, and I think that's fantastic. He's done a great job, a great leader.
That was an issue in which he was having a relationship with somebody in the company.
No, it was an outside vendor.
She was a contractor.
She was a B level porn star. I don't know why it mattered if it was A or B level, but they kept stressing it was B level porn star.
But there was a financial interest, is my point. Whereas in this case, arguably, actually, by the way, somewhat similar, because it was related to Blue Origin, but that was a separate private company.
It's a private company, and maybe she was working on some videos for that. So, but how he recovers, he was straightforward with the board, honest with the public, and I think that transparency says a lot. And I think he deserves, as Tom Friedman says, almost a Pulitzer Prize for courage and coming out like this. Now, it does beg the question about who we have lined up on deck. As CEOs into their later decades, you start to worry about the succession process. But here, I do think they have some very good people lined up. They're just not formally announced and anointed. He's had for almost 20 years in there, he's had a guy in charge of he's considered CEO of the retail operations now, Jeff Wilkes, and there's a person who's been there for 22 years who runs Amazon Web Services, Andrew Jassy, and a CFO who's been there, most of these people, since this last time on CNBC in 1999, and that CFO is fantastic, Brian Olofsky, and those folks, they're loyal, they're smart, they know the business, so I don't think the board needs to worry, but some investors in the public may wonder what we have in the backup squad here. But to focus on that, I don't understand the headlines on that lawyer yesterday, that ABC made such a big deal about it. What on earth was a lawyer going to say? He's going to say, oh, no, he didn't do anything wrong, so he's going to distract and deflect and deny and do anything a lawyer would do when you don't have the facts or the law on your side.